Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things Manchester United, brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. And because we didn't do this episode on Thursday, that's why you're now getting it Saturday night, joined by my West Coast brother, Eddie is in the building. What are you telling me, Eddie? You good?
I'm good, man. We got American football still going on here, and it's America, so we still doing our thing out here. You dig? So yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
I'm glad you're all good, and of course, we'll get into all that.
Appreciate it.
We should be here really as well, previewing the Crystal Palace game. But obviously,
Yeah, man.
the Queen passing, they've cancelled all Premier League games this weekend, probably next weekend. But European games are still going ahead, so we still got Europa League to look forward to, obviously to watch. And to watch the Champions League as well. But like I stated at the very beginning, the ManDem United podcast is the Manchester United podcast. So please keep all your comments and questions, Manchester United related, people. Make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you do that. Share this across all the socials. You can go to my Twitter and Instagram right there. That's me flawless. That's me flawless. Right there, people. And you can retweet and like from the Twitter, share from the Instagram. You can find all Eddie's socials and subscribe to the channel as well. Sarcasm City TV, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, road to 5K. And there's a lot going on. Actually,
man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like I stated, we really should be here recapping the Real Sociedad game. Looking forward to the Crystal Palace game. But Martial, this interview's popped up out of nowhere. He's had a lot to say. He spoke on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He spoke on Jose Mourinho. He spoke on Louis van Gaal. He spoke on the criticism he receives in regards to his body language as well. So we're going to discuss all that. Everybody in the comments, get any questions in you have on it. Somebody please drop the Martial, the best quotes as well. I do have the majority of the quotes, but I may miss some. But yeah, Martial's had a lot to say. And it's always good when players do this.
Yeah.
I love this. It's always good when players clap back. So Eddie, I'll let you kick it off. I know you love this. We were just talking just before on there. You were saying how you love this type of thing. So do you want to start with the Mourinho, the Van Gaal, or the main man Ole? Where do you want to start?
Like I told you, Martial play with the honeys. Don't play with his time, man. That's the theme. That's the thesis, right? That's what we starting out with. Like, I appreciate this level of honesty because it confirms what I had already suspected. Like, culture is everything, and I'll get to it. Like, the French are a very prideful people. They don't take bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's only I'm gonna be real. It's only in the US and the UK where a lot of BS is celebrated and a lot of faking it is celebrated. You got to look this part. You got to act this part. You got to do what we want you to do. Even if that's not who you are as a person, we don't care. And so he's comfortable now. I think more than anything, if he would have said anything about this manager, it would have had to have been positive. Because this manager's actions, and that's what I've seen with his he doesn't speak much because he's watching and he's listening and he's seeing how you interact with him. He was very detailed in his description of his relationship with Van Gaal, very detailed in the description with Jose, which we'll get to, and he was very detailed with what happened with Ole. And again, he sounded like if you gave me a mic, if I'm being honest, and I was in his position, I would have put it on the table. Especially, I think it was like a French
I'm not
magazine.
sure where it was. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but yeah, like you said, some blockbuster quotes, I would say. It shook up the social media world and shook up the footballing world as well. Because I was not expecting this. I wasn't.
Yeah, man.
Because normally these things happen like during international break.
Yeah.
But there's no international break. And he's had a lot to say.
And the other thing is, he could have been talking about this a while ago. It just came out today.
True.
You ever know? But shout out to everybody in the chat.
I'm gonna get to
Y'all
everyone as
showing
well.
love. Yeah, do your thing. Do your
Big
thing.
up to everyone in the chat, man. No worries. We are going to run through some of the quotes, people. Like I said, if we miss any, just drop them in the comment section and I'll start them and get to them. But big up to Camille says, yes, flawless. Are you worried about top four? We will get to that. Like I said, your questions don't have to be on the Martial situation. It can be something else Manchester United related. It can be the Sociedad game. It can be the next Europa League game. It can be Martial coming back to play, Donny getting fit, etc. Whatever you want to talk about. Big up to James says, big up. Look forward to these shows. Always good to see you here, James, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Theo
James.
says, big up, flawless. Shout out to my Kenyan brother as well.
Hey,
Big up,
Theo.
Theo.
How about it?
Big up One Done says, blessings, people. We up. Yeah, man, we up. Fardine says, Martial gone rogue. Fardine also said, Martial said, fuck Ollie. 00300 is not having it. He said Ollie is a prick. Wow. Corey saying big up. Mebs is saying big up, lads. Big up, Martial. Anas is saying Ollie did a CM Punk interview. I did see that meme floating about actually when someone was like, this was Martial and it was CM Punk. And anybody dropped that quote unquote pipe bomb on Raw a few years back. Save says Martial needs a new home. That's that one. This one's at the hospital. You can't be relied upon, and that's not good for that club. That bum Ollie is to blame. Yeah, man, we're gonna get into all of that. 110%. Yeah, Martial. Yeah, I know what you meant, Anas. Yeah. Martial, I understand. But all right, that's where we'll start. Fardine says, is there a player Ollie didn't fuck up? That's to be debated. You know what I'm saying? Because certain people were in the comments telling me and Eddie when United win a trophy under that man, don't celebrate, and how we're not real fans, and how we're negative. You know what I'm saying? And how we're doing this for views, and we're doing this for clout, and we're doing it for attention. Interesting that nobody here is in the comments talking about how we was right.
In the words of Leon Edwards, look at me now. Look at me now.
And Mebs, yeah, I'll get to that question as well. Don't worry about it as well. Abdi saying, yo, big up to the brothers. That Martial story is sad. Kind of is. So this is the quotes from Martial when talking about Ollie. So he says, I regularly played injured. People don't know it. I couldn't accelerate during the 4 months following the COVID season. The coach tells me he needs me, so I play. But given my game time, if I can't accelerate, it becomes very complicated all the same. And I got set on fire, criticized by the fans. The coach never bothered to tell the media. Obviously, I ended up getting injured for good. And when I came back finished, I didn't play anymore. I took it very badly. I had a feeling of injustice. You are asked to sacrifice yourself for the team. And behind the scenes, you are dismissed. For me, it's almost treachery. That's all I hate. I can be blamed, but not for being fake. Jesus. Jeez, like,
talk your shit. Geez. Talk your shit, Martial. Talk your shit.
That's heavy because I haven't read this in full, people. So I've only read bits and pieces, but that is very telling to say he couldn't accelerate, to say he got set on fire by the fans, to say the coach never bothered to tell the media he's playing injured. He said it's almost treachery.
Yeah.
What I will say is on that, first and foremost, and this is the only thing I tweeted on it. Martial has to hold himself accountable. Not fully, but he has to hold himself accountable. If you are injured, you can tell the manager you don't want to play. Because football is a short career, and one injury can change your whole trajectory, as we've seen.
Yeah.
One injury can then turn you into an injury-prone player, which then affects your chances at playing, which then affects your chances of success in terms of the Premier League, the Champions League, FA Cup, League Cup, World Cup, Euros, because we all know Anthony Martial is a quality player. No doubt about it. So he has to hold himself accountable. He shouldn't have been playing when he was injured. Like I always say, ignore the fans, ignore coaches, ignore physios. You know your body.
Yeah.
If you want to play at the highest level for as long as possible, you have to look after your body. On the Ollie side, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying you need him. Make sure that player is fit, because from an Ollie perspective, it's the same as the Martial perspective. Why don't you want him fully fit and raring to go? The better condition Martial is in, the better performances he can put in. Then the better performance he can then help the team with, which then helps you as the manager. I don't get that. Why would you not want one of your key players fully fit and fully ready to go and in a great condition? It's like on here, it's like if Eddie had something going on and he was like, yo, I got something going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be off the podcast for 2 weeks. Just use that as an example. And I'm like, no, I need you here to come. No, I want Eddie at his best when he's here.
Right.
So that makes no sense.
Right.
That's my thoughts on that. And with the fans cooking, and you just have to ignore fans are idiots. Let me just get that out. And that's not just Manchester United fans, that's footballing fans in general. And I've noticed that on social media.
Yeah.
Ignore the fans. If you say you are injured because the fans are going to complain you can't win. If you say you're injured and don't play, the fans will say, oh, he should be playing. If you play injured and don't play well, the fans are going to say, oh, you shouldn't be on the pitch anyway then. Why is he playing? Man said I couldn't accelerate. He legit said
football,
I couldn't accelerate.
That's a death sentence in football.
Man said I couldn't accelerate. That's my thoughts on the Ollie situation, but that just sums up Ollie in a heartbeat. Rather than work around it and play somebody else or try and figure something else out, you're just going to run Martial into the ground. The same way he ran Rashford into the ground. Again, the Martial and Rashford need to be held accountable, yes. If I'm advising them, I'm like, don't let any manager run you into the ground. Look after you. Numero uno. Because when Ollie's gone, you're still going to be here playing football, whether that's at Manchester United Football Club or someone else or somewhere else. You're still both Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford are going to be trying to get results for Manchester United. Martial's trying to get into the French squad. Rashford is trying to get into the England squad. Both of those teams, in terms of those forward areas, are stacked. So they need to be performing at the highest level. They might not even get on the plane. They may never mind. I'm not even talking first 11s. I'm saying getting on the plane is tough for them, man.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on it, Eddie? And we will get to the comments as well.
Because that's the type of thing you get from an actual manager. What we had in Ollie, and I don't even like saying the bum's name. What we had in him was a glorified caretaker. His primary goal was to save himself and the dream that he was living. And the byproduct of that was the sabotaging of players. And what I mean by that is, and shout out to Anas, because he's put the top two examples of this. And Rashford is another example. Think about Pogba, Martial, Rashford. Those three have been so hampered by injury in their entire United career. Like, what seems to be the common denominator? How the team is managing these players. We've seen Ten Hag sit out Champions League Varane to build his body up because he knew what he need with him. He's done the same thing with Martial. I'm sure Martial could have put on a performance, right? But he saw he was a bit injured, and he said, you know what? We can't get you out there right now. We need to build your strength up. We need to build your lower body back up, get you at a space where you're comfortable physically. And only then will we put you out. They tried it in the Liverpool game. They noticed right away. Okay, he needs some more time. But other managers, the Jose's, the Ollies of the type, and I put those two together because, simply put, those were some of my worst years being a Manchester United fan. I can't tell you how even when we were losing last season with Ralph, I was never as miserable as I was during those two regimes.
Oh yeah, I get you.
And the thing is with the Rashford thing, look at Rashford. Rashford is only here because he loves it. He's born and bred, as they say, right?
Yep.
Look at Pogba. Pogba took account of his own body.
Yeah.
And got crucified for it. The one time he takes care of his own body is, I think, towards the back end where he had that muscle strain.
I remember he took a video of himself, like he was under anesthetic.
Yeah,
his ankle. You know what I'm saying? And we know he's played injured. We know
he's played injured.
We've seen.
You know what it is, and here's the other thing too. He's playing with the injuries that we know about. like when I used to play American football, that was my first because there was a lot of money on the line.
Yeah.
That was, and I was young at the time, but that was my first introduction to like physios and all kinds of shit, and what physios will do for the team. People don't think about that.
Yeah.
They work for the team. They don't work for you.
True that.
So, like you've talked about with Martial and holding himself accountable for not just stepping out because he himself knows he's not ready.
Well,
physios will be like, yeah, he might have some pain, but he can still get it done.
right. And that's where you need to stand up.
Exactly.
We've seen other players do this.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Arjen Robben was one of them. And I'm sure there'll be other
legend
players in the
legend.
chat. I mean, there'll be other players, people in the chat will mention who did that before, who will say, nah, I'm not fit. Go get your own physio. If I remember correctly, Robin van Persie used to do that. I think
You
he did
have
that
to.
in the last season. You have to, because like you said there, that's a great point you make there, Eddie. The physios work for Manchester United Football Club. They don't work for Martial. So I'm not going to turn around and say the physios don't have the player's best interest at heart. But physios, naturally, the people who are paying your wages, you are going to gravitate towards. You're going to want to please them more. 110%. So you're going to say, yeah, like you said, he's in pain, but he can play. He's 70% fit. He's 80%.
Yeah.
Whereas if Martial goes to see his own physios, or Rashford goes to see his own physios, or Pogba the same, they have your best interest at heart. You know why? Because it's your physio. So yeah, I fully get what you're saying.
And like there's a reason Pogba has his own medical team. If people have seen the documentary, the Pogba documentary, he has his own medical team and they review how his body is performing. If you put all of that to the medical department of these teams, brother, you're playing boo-boo the fool. It's honestly that simple. You have to players, and I hope some young players learn from this. I hope they see this interview and take something from it. You have to invest in yourself. Right. Your body, when you enter athletics, your body is a business.
Yeah.
You have to manage it as a business. You have to put money into the business. You can't all that extra partying, heavy partying and shit like that. That's devaluing the product, which is your body. Now you can do all that shit in moderation. But we have legends. Like my dad used to, bless him, my dad used to talk about George Best, right?
Yeah.
And he used to talk about like, bro, I don't know how this guy used to do it.
It's crazy.
You'd hear all the stories about him. They're hearing this shit in Kenya, right? You hear all the stories about him getting drunk and showing up to play and put in 2 goals.
Yeah.
But as you get older, that shit takes the toll.
Facts. Your
body can't build itself back up again. That's what we're seeing with Ronaldo, right?
And he's someone who's in great condition as well. That's the crazy part.
But it's a gift and a curse. You want to know why?
Go on.
Because all of that effort he put into building himself to be indestructible, that shit takes a toll. Practice takes a toll.
Oh, yeah,
training takes a toll. Yeah. And there's always that fine line between training and overtraining. And I just think with him, like all the mileage and how hard he works, that's why his legs are so gone right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that as well.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a cold business if you're not protecting yourself. And that's what you want that's what I hope the young kids who are trying to play football see from this shit, that if you're not protecting yourself first, you're acting foolish.
Absolutely. And we're gonna get through some of the comments as well, because you lot have had a lot to say on the OLE situation and Martial's comments. But let's get the likes up as well. Let's do that. Let's bump up the likes. Likes is way too low.
Chat Mafia, man. We supposed to be thugging.
Chat Mafia, as Eddie calls you lot. Let's bump up them likes. There's over 40 of you lot. There should be at least 35 likes. So let's do that. Let's get to that. Where else we at? So we'll go to James, who says, yeah, Flawless, he would have got cooked by the fans if he didn't play. Ollie probably would have thrown him under the bus because he thought he was fit enough to play. And that's just Eddie said it there. That's a beautiful way and a beautiful analogy that Eddie stated in regards to your business is your body. You're not going to let anybody to tell you about your business. You're not going to let anybody tell you what's best for your business. And if something is harming your business, like fans' criticism, so be it. We don't know how these injuries could have taken 2-3 years off Martial's career. Or could be taken 2-3 years, not even 2-3 years, take a couple of levels off of his current performance or his maximum performance. These things can take their toll. 110%. So what I would say to that is fans are going to complain anyway, like I stated already earlier in this podcast. If you say you're injured and the medical staff say you're fit, you're going to get criticized. If you play when you're injured, you're going to be criticized because your performance is not going to be up to scratch. People ain't going to give you no leeway. And I won't give you leeway on that. I always say if you're fit enough to be on the pitch, if you're foolish enough to be on the pitch and you're injured, I don't want to hear about your injury hampering your performance. If it's hampering your performance that badly, go in the stands and get fit and let somebody else take your place. That's what I would say about that. And it says, but Flawless, I also got to look at the Man United medical department, bro. Their jobs are to look after the players. Why didn't any club doctor step in and say to Ollie, he cannot be picked at all? You're right, Anis. And that's a valid point. And we know how bad our medical department's been.
Yeah.
Because it seems our players get injured and just never come back quickly. Like, it seems like a player's just out. And it's like, where's such and such? Man's been missing for 8 games straight. And he had a thigh strain. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like a major injury. And it's not like man tore his Achilles. You know what I'm saying? Or torn his calf muscle or something like that. And he seems like he's out for a long time. So, yeah, Anis, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We know about our medical department. Big up Tony Martial, who says, big up Flawless, fuck Arsenal, pussy them. You wilding with that.
How you feel? Shout out. See you later, Saif.
Yeah, Saif, big up, man. Bless up. Martial's annoyed that he worked under a past state manager and a League 2 prospect coach. Of course. That's why he's spoken glowing terms about Van Gaal, the man that signed him, but we'll get into that as well. And it says, man, people always get onto us for backing Pogba and Martial, but these are the reasons why our best players always been treated like crap. Yeah, we didn't look after our assets. Yeah, all he was looking after himself. That's what he was doing.
Big difference.
I'm going to play my best players regardless of if they're fit or not, because they're my best chance in my mind of me getting results and keeping my job. And look at what he did to Pogba and Martial and Rashford. And now we're finding out about these things. This is no coincidence that we was talking about all this with Rashford. Yeah. About we could see visually on the pitch. I've seen it with Rashford where I'm like, why is he on the pitch? He's injured. It was the Liverpool game. Yeah. And Henderson went for a header with him and he got kneed in the back. And you can see him holding his back. The game where I turned Ollie out, ironically, the Rochdale game. Yeah. Pogba was injured. I can see him limping around on the pitch.
Dragging that leg, man.
He's limping around. Big up to Prime because I told him about this and this is on stream. He watched it back and he was laughing and he was like, Pogba's limping walking out of the tunnel at home to Rochdale. And despite the fact it's Rochdale in the League Cup game, why is any asset, never mind your prized asset, you shouldn't do that to a youth player. I wouldn't want to see, I'd use Garnacho in that scenario. Not a chance. I wouldn't want to see Iqbal or Charlie Savage, never mind a senior player like Paul Pogba in that situation. It's outrageous. Yeah. It's absolutely outrageous. And big up to Malcolm for becoming a member as well.
Shout out, Malcolm. Shout out. No, you're cooking right now. Keep going.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. Link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well, people. Many great perks. So the link is in the pinned comment. Big up Flawless and Eddie. His treatment of Tony, Rashi, and Labille was disgusting. He destroyed them. What could have been after that 1920 season when all of them went off? F that PE teacher. That's literally it is. Sarcasm. It is. Of 3 of our better players. And we don't know the long-term effect that's going to have on them. Yeah. Rashford seems to be back and managing to stay fit. Hopefully Martial can get there. Hopefully. That's what I'm saying. And hopefully Pogba, he's injured currently. He can get fit. Yeah. Hopefully. That's what it is. Malcolm says, it's so easy to blame these players, but you also have to look at our medical department. They've been useless in keeping these players fit, and it's their job to advise the players. I agree. And for fans saying the Moyes era was worse, you're having a laugh. Absolutely, because the Moyes era was only 7 months. That's what it was.
Honestly, it wasn't even it felt like a fucking week.
Yeah, I'm saying a long ass week, yo.
Yeah, compared to what the Jose and Ollie days were, bro, that shit felt like a week, bro.
Tell me about it. Martial dropped bombs on why his career stifled. Ollie's a selfish man who didn't have the player's best interest. Aha, I hear all this. Martial's form dipped after the 35 goal and assist season, so it's true he played injured for 4 months and ended up missing 5 months. Last season came back and Ollie froze him out of the team, which led him up to leave for Seville. Yeah, that's why when he talks about treachery, I hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
I hear what he's saying. About time Toney spoke out, to be honest. Yeah, I'm glad he's speaking out, man. And we're going to run through some more of his quotes as well. Don't forget, I have started some of the non-Martial questions as well. So me and Eddie will get to them. Let me just pull up some more of the quotes from this interview from Martial. We'll go Mourinho. So it troubles under Mourinho. It started with the story of the shirt number. During the holidays, Mourinho sent me a message to ask if I want to change to a number 11, explaining to me that it's great because it was worn by Ryan Giggs, a club legend. I tell him that I have the greatest respect for Giggs, but I prefer to keep the number 9 when I return to the club. I see my name with the number 11. The story did not end well. Mourinho lacked direct respect for me. He talked about me in the press, little phrases, a bit like he had done with Karim Benzema at Real Madrid. He likes these little games, but he also knows who he's doing it with. He knows that I am 20 years old, that if I say something, it is I who will pass for the young person who lacks respect. So I said nothing. It was useless. The following season, I was the best in the team in the first part of the season. He brought in Sanchez, and there I hardly played anymore. It's the season of the World Cup, and it cost me dearly, especially since the French team won the tournament. I should have been there. Damn. Damn.
He's not lying. Lying.
This is eye-opening. Just before you go on it, the things that point out to me, Mourinho lacked direct respect for me.
Yeah.
He likes to play these little games, but also knows who he's doing it with.
Yeah.
Crazy. And the whole Sanchez coming in while he was playing well and the World Cup. Your thoughts? Jesus, Martial said a lot. He should have come to Sarcasm City for that shit.
Yeah, man. Honestly, the whole thing is, bro, Mourinho sabotaged us. Point blank, period. Because I think in that moment in time, Mourinho felt the walls closing in on his dominance as a manager in the European landscape. And so while he's fighting that fight, he's putting everything, all his eggs into his own agenda, and fuck whoever has to deal with that. Allah, you get a Alexis who came and did what? Yeah. Came and did not shit. Meanwhile, we had, like he said, he was playing his best football.
He's playing well.
He was the trajectory was up. And at the flip of a hat, it fucking shifts. And that's only on the manager because those were his decisions. So I appreciate him saying this because it's exactly what I thought at the same time. And it's one of these situations where if Jose had never came to United, I wonder what his career would look like. Because there's always these points in...
This is a joke, Malcolm. Sorry to cut you off. Man said send Martial the link.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
hey,
man.
Martial, any of the players who are watching,
pull up.
Feel free. My DM, my email is there. Any professional player, don't even have to be of Manchester United. If you want Sarcasm City, man, is the platform for you. 100%. Feel free.
Pull
go on, carry on.
Pull up. Nah, it's all good. I'm always here for the jokes. Yeah, it was a fucked up time. Yeah. It was a fucked up time for him. And shout out Honest, because that has to be stated. He was young at the time. And you know what happens with young people, especially when you're young, your confidence can be wavered way more than it can once you get older. When you have the world at your hands and then somebody pulls the rug from underneath you, and the next thing you know, as a footballer, you miss out on one of the greatest opportunities of all time because of it. Yeah, man. I wish that's a type of hell I wish upon no man. Thanks. Especially because he knows everybody on that French squad knows how talented he is. Thanks. And they kind of did it without a striker when you think about it. Giroud was whatever, but
yeah, Giroud was just a target man.
he was
That's
just a
what he was.
target. That was it. It was most of the guys off the wings and Griezmann. But yeah, I'm glad he can feel at this point in his life where he's just comfortable enough to say all of this because it needed to be said. It needed to be said, man. Ain't nobody should have to keep all that shit in.
No.
And you can't say shit, but you got people like Jose having fucking emotional breakdowns every press conference, putting up 3 premierships with 3 in the rest of the league. 3, like, who gives a fuck? You're out here taking L's at United right now, homeboy.
To do with nothing. Yeah, it's nothing to
Like,
do with nothing.
fuck. Like, it was just that's what I talked about. It was a shit time, and so yeah, I'm all for it. I it was a breath of fresh air for him to say it. Because, unfortunately, like, I will always be left questioning the Pogba Jose situation more than anything. But this just tells me Martial was doing this and he's quiet, right? Pogba is a bright character. He's a outgoing personality. I know that fucking drove him off the walls, Jose. So all of it was all just refreshing to hear, but it was unfortunate to hear. At the end of the day, that shit is unfortunate because we did it to ourselves. And again, Jose was at a point in his career where he really started taking L's and he didn't know how to handle it. That's what it came down to for me, man.
Like I say, it's a damning indictment because, like I said, with the OLE quotes, I haven't read these in full. I've only seen bits and pieces on social media, and the fact that he said Mourinho knows who to pick games with, and he did the same thing with Benzema, which I didn't know him and Benzema had anything, and then he went on to state, if I say anything back, I'm the bad guy, which lets me know Martial ain't dumb.
Oh no! He just
Martial's far from stupid. Like he's watching everything and processing everything because he understands what it would be if he said something back. And the way Mourinho took his number off him, that's wrong.
You know how it goes, man. You know how they say it. You know what they say. It's always the quiet ones you got to look out for. Like I said, brother was just listening and watching.
Yeah, facts. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? That shit wild. My thoughts on it is, like I said, Mourinho's done him dirty, taking his number off him in that fashion in terms of not having a conversation, and the fact that Martial said he lacks direct respect from me. But when someone says they believe a manager lacks direct respect, it's a wrap. The show is over. Playing good football, and then he brought in Sanchez. I don't even mind at the time bringing in Sanchez, but you could have played Sancho. You could have played him on the right. Could have easily played him on the right and played Martial on the left. And mixed it up. Mourinho really did screw it up, man. He really did. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat. There's over 50 of you lot locked in as well. Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Hit the like button, please.
Let's pump these likes up. Let's pump these likes up.
Chat Mafia, get on them, man. Get these likes up, Chat Mafia. Y'all know what to do.
Everyone liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. And it says little things like that is what messes with a player's mentality, especially changing the shirt number and then costing him a World Cup spot after him being top scorer. Props. Gotta remember, man, like Toney was only 20, 21 years old when all this happened in the Jose. That's sad, man. His potential got screwed straight away. I hear that. Big up Flawless Eddie and everyone else, says Daredevil. Love from the USA here. If Martial stay fit, he can be a top player for us. Medical staff have to take the blame. Last year with Varane and Martial. Yeah, obviously our medical staff, which we've already discussed, is not good. But yeah, with that, with the Mourinho thing, like, he's had 2 terrible coaches back to back. Van Gaal, who signed you, and it's all well and good, and I'm going to get to the Van Gaal quotes as well. But then you have Mourinho, and then you have OLE, who just both man management and just all about themselves and have you playing injured and try to put pressure on you. Don't back you in the media, but then will criticize you in the media. Don't say he's playing. OLE never came out and said, yeah, he's carrying a knock. I wonder how many players were when Rashford, after we lost the Europa League final, how many players were carrying knocks? It wouldn't surprise me if it was multiple players in that first team, like the majority. Like, I know knocks you can play on where you're like 80, 90%. Talking how many people out there at 50%, 60%? Yeah, man. This. No wonder everything went tits up with these, man. You know what I'm saying? No wonder everything went tits up with these, man. Not even a surprise. Right, where was it? Let's go to the Van Gaal situation. I had a great relationship with Van Gaal in the first season. I love to learn, and when a gentleman like him takes the time to make me watch videos of my matches in his office to explain things to me, that's the best. Once I had scored twice and he made me watch the video to set me on fire. I told him that I scored twice, so what's the problem? He wanted to talk to me about running angles and movement zones. I told him that I understand and that he liked my whole character. Sounds like me on pro clubs when certain man are like, yo, I scored twice, why are you getting on to me? Because it's about the team and not just you as an individual, but we move. Eddie, your thoughts on that? No, there.
Yeah. The only thing that fucked up for Van Gaal was 0-0 every other fucking week. But other than that, I have. That's why I'm so excited right now, because I have such a tremendous respect for Dutch football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when he was there, we had an established order, but he just didn't have the backing from the fans or the club for it even as well that you kind of want a manager like that to receive. But to hear that relationship that he had with Martial, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And as bright a mind as Van Gaal is, like, to see the potential in Toney was awesome. That's what I'm like. Thank you, Anna. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, he called him a gentleman. And you see it right now with how Van Gaal manages the Netherlands team. He's like, hey, man, he's straight up. He's like, yo, if you don't play, don't think you're going to show up at this World Cup.
Yeah.
It's not like that. So, yeah, man, Van Gaal, that's easy to see. That's why I think him and this manager get along so well, because Van Gaal also has the same kinds of principles. Well, I think when it comes to, the culture, the Dutch culture, it bodes well for a player like Martial. The game does, the vibe does. So that was good to hear. I understand. Like, it's always good to hear of the great stuff that these players go through behind the scenes, because you're always going to get stories on the negative. So it's always good to hear that kind of
to
story.
see the positive and hear the positive, should I say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Taza says when he talks about how he's a player who thrives on consistent game time, and that if he doesn't get that, he knows he doesn't play well. That shows self-awareness and he has no ego. So sad, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. We talk about it all the time in terms of a lack of self-awareness. So you have to give credit when players do have self-awareness. And what player doesn't want to be playing consistently? Of course, that helps you play well, because your teammates get used to you. You get used to your teammates. Your confidence goes up. Confidence is key. And if you're playing 3, 4, 5 games in a row and you're playing well, 7, 8, 9 out of 10, of course and scoring goals from an attacking standpoint, assisting, creating, and the team's winning. Of course it is. Look at Rashford now. Look how much more confident Rashford looks. And I'm not even talking about the goal. I'm just talking about just like running the channels, just endeavor. How much more confident he is, type of thing.
Yeah,
like, that's what it is. How much better say Varane looks, Dalot looks. I know that them players were lacking confidence, but getting a run in the team. We now have a settled back four. Legit. And when you have a settled back four, now they're all figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And I've said this about Martial. Yes, my biggest issue with him is his injury record. Hopefully he can change that around this season. But on the Van Gaal situation, I like Van Gaal, is a coach. You mentioned it there about the Dutch way. Dutch coaches are actual coaches. And when I say that, people, I know it's a Michael Owen quote, but they will go above and beyond. Like you said, sit down and show you video of where you're going wrong, tell you where you're going right. Meticulous with their approach. Not always successful, but meticulous. Van Gaal, whether you rate him as a manager or not, is meticulous with his approach. We're seeing it with Ten Hag, meticulous with his approach. That's just the Dutch way. This is why they produce quality footballers after quality footballer after quality footballer all across the pitch. Who did we just chase all summer, De Jong? Like, they still will produce, and then we can go back and talk about your Van Nistelrooys and Van Persie's and Overmars and Jaap Stam and Seedorf and Ruud Gullit and Kluivert, and the list goes on. Your Robbins. Like the list goes on and on and on and on with these men. Meticulous with their approach, and I understand why. You know what I'm saying, they produce so many good plays. It makes sense. But yeah, it's interesting. Very, very interesting what he had to say. Like I said, damning indictment of both OLE and Mourinho. Malcolm saying his words sound similar to what Di Maria said about LVG when he was at United. He also, he said that twice. Steph says, big up to Steph as well in the cut, says, in France, we mainly care about technique and tactics. I get why Martial rated Louis van Gaal the most. Yeah, because Van Gaal's trying to help him. That's why he rated him the most. He understands he's trying to sitting down with some eye. This is where I need you to improve.
Yeah, man.
That's good. I don't believe there's a video for the interview, Steph. If there is, the chat will let you know.
Yeah, I think another thing that he talked about was just, I don't know if you're going to talk about it, but like how people spoke on how he presents himself.
The body language thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me try and find a quote, but speak on it.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, like, people, at the end of the day, production should be the only thing that matters. For everybody in the chat, production should be the only thing that matters. Shout out Mark.
I think Eddie just broke up. Say that again.
Oh yeah, shout out Marshall because he just entered the chat.
Think about Marshall, man.
You have to prioritize what a player produces over what he looks like. That's the problem that our fans are having right now, and fans of football in general are having. How the player presents himself is one thing. How he produces is entirely other. Not everybody sees the game of football as a matter of life and death on every kick. In order for certain players to play, they have to think the game through. There's other players who have to pour out all of their emotions into the game. Right? Like, if McTominay wasn't playing on emotions, brother, would be dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. Because he technically doesn't have the ability to see the game through. But a guy like Martial, everything's moving in slow motion for him because he has the tech to control the ball and make decisions in a quick amount of time. He's not going to give you that rah-rah stuff unless he's scoring a goal like anybody else would. Like, it's very simple for me. I've never, because I used to coach basketball, right? And I'll tell you a funny story. I was coaching kids, but they were like, it was like high level basketball for kids. And I had one kid who, I tell you, it was fucking hell getting this kid to play basketball, just coaching him, right? But then once we got into games, like we affectionately say, he had that dog in him.
Yeah.
Brother had that dog in him. I'm talking about he's the last one on our sprints, but I've seen him go from baseline to baseline sprint to take somebody out. Like, you got to know your personnel. And as a fan base, you have to know your player. So if that's what you want from these guys, to act it when they don't even mean it like that, because it makes you feel comfortable what you have on the pitch, then why don't you just do yourself a favor and look at our back line? All our back line is the passion merchants, bro.
Let's go, man. They got that dog in them, man.
They got that dog in them. But even Tony got that dog in him, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
You think they telling John Wick to pipe up? They not telling John Wick to pipe up. John Wick gonna do the job blank face.
Stone face killer.
Stone face killer.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta look at it, man. Look at the production, man. Look at the production. And when Martial had some one-liners, he's like, I'm not a fucking actor. I play football. Period. 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 Say it again for the people in the back, man.
Yeah, say it louder for the people in the back. Yeah.
Like y'all gotta know what y'all getting into and who y'all getting into it with. And I know he cares about it because I still like that little bitch slap he gave Lamella for all that fake tough guy he was doing in the box. Now he might have got sent off, but you know how disrespectful it is for a man to slap you with gloves on. People was getting fucking killed back in the day for slapping people. Not that we grown as a society, but what happened? In the words of Charlie Murphy, after I slap you, I have to challenge you to a duel, and somebody would die.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Y'all better relax out there, my boy Tony. Y'all better relax, man. Y'all better relax, man.
What you said was key in regards to knowing your personnel. But it's like, if you don't act a certain way, you don't care. So if you're not a passion merchant, you don't care. It don't mean that much to you. You don't want to be here. You're not trying hard. That type of thing. Like we're seeing it with our back line. I'm fully on the passion merchant thing. But here's the thing that people fail to understand. You can be an effective passion merchant. You can be a skilled passion merchant. You can have passion, but also have great skill alongside that. Rooney was a passion merchant. 110%. But you know also what Wayne Rooney had? Fantastic skill. Roy Keane was a passion merchant. But you know what Roy Keane also had? Great skill. And that's what people fail to realize is just because you're a passion merchant means you lack skill. Martinez is a passion merchant. Yeah, I know you're right, but he has great skill. He's a great defender. The lowest, great fullback. And the list goes on and on and on and on. And I can keep stating players, but it's about knowing your personnel. So I'm glad he stated that. Because I've been accused of that in the past. Because I have a laid back demeanor and I'm just cool and I'm chilled out. Or it means you don't care. Yeah. Especially on a football pitch. Especially on a football pitch where the footballing culture in England is run around, kick people, get your shorts dirty, cover every blade of grass, all that type of rubbish. Like, no, there's different ways to win football matches.
Exactly.
And there's different people. There's different personnel. So just because Martial don't punch the ground if he misses a one-on-one doesn't mean he's not pissed that he missed that one-on-one. Let me actually pull up. Let me actually pull up the goal. Let me see. And shout out Andy Tate because he just messaged the group chat and said, if all Premier League fixtures are cancelled next weekend, the next round of fixtures will see United play City. Jesus.
Shit. I'm here for the smoke, though.
Yeah, man, I'm with it, man. Bring me pep. You know what I'm saying in that? Bring me pep. 100%. So, yeah, here's what he said on body language. Basically, I have to display my disappointment after a missed opportunity so people don't say, he doesn't really care. I tell you simply, I'm a footballer, not an actor. A lot of people think you have to be a little comedian, and I see players who show their rage so that the public and the media think that they're motivated. All the media circus does not interest me. I cannot change to please others. See, I fucks with that.
Exactly.
Energy. Because Peter said this. He was like, if I was managing in the Premier League, I would do all that passion merchant stuff on the sideline. You know why? Because that gets you extra time in the fans' mind.
Yeah.
Like 110% it gets you. Like, yeah, it gets you extra time and extra more leeway in the fans' mind. You see it if you kiss the badge, if you fist pump, if you run up and down, if you cheerlead the crowd. You know who does that, Conte?
Yeah.
And fans love him for it.
That's it.
Fans love him for it. And Conte is a good manager. Shit. Don't get me wrong. But if you're calm and in your demeanor and you're just a more chilled out, laid back manager, I'm trying to think of the one off the top. Ancelotti, for instance.
Yeah.
If Ancelotti wasn't as a success, if Ancelotti did that, people wouldn't have been talking about, Ancelotti's finished before he won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Last season. Troy Deeney said something on I think was it Talksport? Yeah, Troy Deeney said something. And he was on Talksport and he was like, how if a team's 2-0 down or 3-0 down and the game's closing out and a player enters the pitch and whoever that player is, a striker, runs down the fullback and flies into a tackle, you know what I'm saying, and sends the fullback into the crowd and sends the ball into the crowd. You know what fans turn around and say? That's what's missing from the team.
Yeah.
We need that. That's what's lacking. And that's how fans are. Because people mistake running around and being passionate as all you need in football. Is it needed? Yes, but it's not all you need.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no stress. There's being, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to put it in the correct phrase. There's being smart when you're tenacious. Like Manchester City, they don't have players that run around a lot, but they're very smart and intense with their press in the correct areas. Like a Bernardo Silva, for instance. I use him as an example. Like they're very smart with how they do it. It's all about using your brain. Football is mostly mental. Like that's what it's for. That's how it should be. That's how you should use it, not just running around for running around's sake. If Ancelotti got knocked out by PSG last year, he would have got crucified for not caring and probably would have got sacked. Yeah, for real. Tuchel did the passion thing with Conte and got sacked. Yeah, because that's not Tuchel though. I'm talking about that's rare. If Tuchel was like that all the time, I guarantee you more Chelsea fans would have given more leeway. That's why Chelsea fans, obviously they already like Lampard, but when Lampard's giving Klopp stick on the bench, pumping up the crowd, Klopp does it. At Liverpool, Klopp does it. People mistake that. It tricks people. It's a Jedi mind trick that if you're passionate and you get angry when stuff goes wrong, you care more than people who don't. Like I said, Eddie said it, personnel, there's different characters. Same way on this channel, you see different characters on here. Everyone's personalities, some people are more high energy, more people are more low energy. Not everybody's the same. It doesn't mean I don't care. And I've legit had this conversation, whether it's playing football, whether it's at work when I've worked, like before I was doing this. I've had this conversation. Family members have said this to me. Friends have said this to me. Y'all have been involved with in the past have said this to me. Oh, it seems you don't care. Why? Because I'm not ranting and raving about such and such. That's not the case. That's why we're here having a conversation. It's about my life. So I fully get where Martial's coming from, because that's my demeanor. Yeah, I run bants and jokes on here and my energy's high, but I'm here. This is a podcast. I have a job to do as much as I enjoy doing it. But outside of this, I'm just chilled out. Just laid back. Just cool, calm, and collected. Cool, Carlos and collected people. 110%. And people equate that, oh, he doesn't care. Nonsense. Absolute pure stupidness. Ashan says, Martial, Lingard, Bailly, Telles, Pogba, Dalot, Donny, players who were pretty much killed by OLE. I hope people would realize that OLE threw this club 10 years back, killed the careers of so many. Yeah, it's crazy. Slandering, what? Yeah, that's wild. All of a sudden, we've got a proper manager, and Martial was pressing crazy in preseason. If the press is not collective and organized, it's useless, and players know that. That comes back to the City thing that I mentioned. They've been the most successful team in the country. They don't have passion merchants. They don't have players who just run around for no reason. They probably run less than certain teams because they have the ball so much. Obviously, they work extremely hard to get it back, and that's incredible. But it's about being calculated with it. That's what it is. It's about being calculated. It's actually the real case. Yo, Curtis, if that's you, DM me so I know it's you, and I'll, I'll mud you in that. But yo, big up to Curtis if that is the real Curtis. But I need to get him over here anyway, because has he ever been on the channel? No, we've worked together, but he's never been on the channel. But big up, man. If it's you, Curtis, DM me on Instagram. And I'll mod you. If Ancelotti got knocked out by PSG last year, he would have got crucified for not caring and probably would have got sacked. Yeah, because people equated to that. That's just his management style.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more laid back. Not everyone's a Pep or Klopp. You are just intense. There's different ways. But that's what it is. Anything else you want to add into the Martial thing?
I'm expecting big things from him, honestly, because you know what the cold part is? Even when he's shown up, he's made an impact. The last time we saw Martial this season, what did he give? An assist, right? Go back to the West Ham game before he left for Sevilla. He plays in the pass to Cavani that gets it to Rashford for us to win that game.
He does.
We look at the Everton game that he played in, scores a crazy goal. We draw, but what would have happened if he hadn't scored? You know what I'm saying? Again, don't get me started on 17. The FA Cup, just how he how he was playing during that whole run. Like, I've seen enough from him in the short spells that we've had to have faith in him. And I think now everything's coming together because we have a manager who actually manages.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have a manager who's managing, a coach who's coaching. Like, I love that. And you're seeing the difference. And this is only in a short space of time as well, which I also like. Mertaz is saying here, what's this? From Telegraph Docker on Twitter. Ten Hag's impact on Manchester United so far. Players were getting away with all sorts of negative things last season. That has now stopped under him. Man, it makes sense.
Makes
it really
sense.
stopped under him. James says, Flawless, did you know that Man City pressed less than Manchester United last year? This is because they have the ball much more, which gives the players more energy to press in a short time off the ball. It makes sense. If that's the case, James, it would make sense.
Yeah.
How they do that.
No, that's the Man City. Like, bro, I will never forget that last 2 weeks of OLE where we played them and they made that shit look like training and only won 2-0.
Oh, yeah, when they bopped us off the park.
Yeah.
They bopped us off the park. They really did.
It was just like recycle, ball. Oh, there we go, ball, goal. Recycle, have them chase. We were chasing the whole game. The whole 90 we were chasing.
Bopped us off the park. It's outrageous. It is. You lot continue to get the likes up before we close out the stream. We'll be closing out in about 15 to 20 minutes or so, people. So make sure you do that. Let's go back. Camille says, are you worried about top 4? No. And the reason why I'm not worried about top 4 because I didn't expect us to get top 4 anyway. So worried, no. What I will say is top 4 is now a lot more open than it was initially at the start of the season. So am I more optimistic about Manchester United finishing in the top 4? Yes. And that's because how Liverpool have looked, even though I expect them once they get their players fit to get themselves together. Chelsea are not as strong as they were. You know, it remains to be seen how good Potter is. But currently, right now, 10th of September 2022, Graham Potter is not a better manager than Thomas Tuchel. So to me, Chelsea are weaker. Spurs can implode at any moment because you have the combustible element that is Antonio Conte. So that can go south. All that takes is 2 bad results. And he's in press conferences crying again, talking about maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. And how the team's not as good as I think I am. Let them get to January and they don't get a couple of the players he wants. I'm saying, talk to Chelsea fans about Conte, they'll tell you. So that can implode, and Arsenal are just Arsenal. So is top 4 more open than I thought? Yes, but I am not worried about it, no. We need to go all in on the Europa League, despite losing to Sociedad, despite that. Your thoughts on this, Eddie? What are you saying?
King Louie's a fucking fool, first and foremost.
What are you saying?
You see this
guy, Egypt, yo. Look at this guy. This guy forgot about Tuchel quick, you know. It was Tommy Tuchel's treble trick and stealing blues. Man. Now they got Graham Potter.
They out here taking toad venom before the matches up. They out here taking ketamine before the match. Oh no. But I'm good off the Martial. Yeah, I'm good. And when it comes to top 4, like you said, we honestly, the way our players are producing, it would be like almost a disappointment if we weren't in contention.
We should be in the race. I agree with that.
We should be in the race because I'm just looking at the other squads. I think they're only better than us because they've been together longer. I think if you look at our players individually, I think we have better players everywhere except for the front 3. I think you have Kane. Like, I'll leave it there. I'll stay Kane, and Richarlison I'll give some credit to.
Yeah, man. What about Kulu, man?
I'm there. Son. No, I'm not. Son is not like. I'm saying off performance and what they look like. We look the part more than the Son. I'd say Rashford is actually playing better than Son right now.
Oh yeah. Son's in terrible form.
You know what I'm saying?
Jez be out here whiling talking about I need Son on the bench. He got put in Twitter jail. because of what he said about.
Oh,
Son.
that's crazy.
Yeah. He got put in Twitter jail and that.
That's why I can't be out there. I'll be
basically
getting.
said, I won't say the full quote, but he was like, "Yo, son, it's time to see bench my." Yeah.
Oh,
man.
bro, that's tough. That's why I can't be on Twitter. I can't. I'm gonna have to make like 10 different accounts. Especially let the Lakers be on some shit, and I see somebody say something terrible, like stupid, and get hella likes. I'm getting reported.
Nah, we need you on the Twitter streets and that. You can't. That's a quick side note. Confident going into the season, Lakers, play-ins.
It's like me talking about his play-ins, bro. I can't.
Cool, fair enough.
I can't raise this. It's fucking sad. I can't raise my expectations more than that because it's like people honestly are trying to play with me and say like, yeah, man, Russ and Pat Bev can play together. Nigga, where? on PlayStation? Fucking Fortnite? Where? I'm not trying to see that shit. You gotta go. So yeah, man. I'm
you're not trying to see that you got Mr. Westbrook Beverly link up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm here for Pat Bev. I'm here for Pat Bev because I dead ass think like he'll call LeBron out of his name, and then LeBron will be on smoke or something and just give somebody 50 just because Pat Bev pissed him off. But yeah, I'm not here for Russell like that. Like I said, I don't wish that upon no man. Only Coachzilla. Now that I think about it, I'd enjoy if they somehow, some way, they both got traded and were on the dippers, so he can deal with that shit. But everybody else, y'all good in my book. Coachzilla got to go through something real quick.
I said he's not feeling the Westbrook Beverly backcourt. All right, we're gonna get into all that. NBA gonna be fun this year.
It's gonna be 100%. Fun though.
NBA gonna be fun. Large up Lewis. He says, "Big up, guys. Any trophies won this season is dedicated to the martyr and his fallen majesty, Sir Tommy Tuchel." Look at this guy.
I respect it. He knows. Who knows?
Graham Park ain't winning no trophies. Let's just get out of the way. Forget champs. I'm sorry. If Graham Park goes to Chelsea, and wins the champs, we gotta scrap the competition,
bro. Listen,
we have to scrap the competition, yo.
I can't lie. I'm just not gonna be here, family. I'm just not gonna be here. Like I'm not with them brothers. The way I've been talking to them.
Yeah, you've been talking to him as well, yo.
Cause here's my thing. Y'all getting mad over Chelsea firing a manager? Really? This is what y'all do.
Yeah, clip that, Lewis, man. Save that to me as well, man. Like I say, if Graham Potter wins the Champions League with Chelsea this season, we got to scrap the competition.
Scrap it.
We got to scrap it, yo. We got
to erase it from the fucking history books,
and start again. We got to give everybody loses all their winners' medals, all their Champions Leagues in their history, and everyone goes back to 0-0-0. And we bring it back with a new name. 100%.
Honest to God.
And speaking of things that should be scrapped, Ahmed's in the building. Big up to Ahmed. Oh, your blessed fam. This guy always catching corn all the time. He's sorry. Big up my guy Ahmed, man. That's my guy though. Where was we at? I forgot what we was even talking about.
Top 4.
Oh yeah, top 4. Yeah. Your final thoughts, because man asked if we're worried about top 4. Obviously, I give my thoughts. It was Camille.
Yeah, no, we in the race. We in the race now. Like the funniest part is how Arsenal have 15 points and look so shit at the same time. So we know that's about to change. City, Holland is a godsend for City.
Facts. Because
the way everybody outside of him has been playing, we would be talking about City like we're talking about Liverpool. I'm convinced.
You think so? You think he's been that important to them?
Yeah. Well, they can play like shit.
Yeah.
And put 2 crosses into him and be up 2-0. Like, hey. I saw they did that comeback shit that like you don't try to come back, right? You're not out here, let's go down 2 goals.
Yeah.
Remember how we was always coming back? Yeah, we were playing shit.
When we were Dougie Style FC.
Yeah, that's why they got 2 goals. So we were playing like shit. And then we have these moments of individual brilliance, and I don't care what nobody say. This motherfucker got to get out the league ASAP. So I need Madrid, Bayern, whoever, throw the peas out. Get this motherfucker up out my league, bro. Because he's like 23 and he's about to have like 30 fucking goals. And I can't be with for them. Like, bro, listen.
His goal return's crazy. Goal return's
Crazy.
crazy. And speaking of that, like I said, man dropped it in the group chat in regards to if next weekend's fixtures are postponed, Manchester City versus Manchester United would be the next game, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. You know what? For some reason, though, I don't think we'll get bad. I'm actually confident.
No.
I'm confident of getting a result.
We can do that. We can honestly do that. Like, they're there to be had, but it's just like I said, like that motherfucker. That motherfucker different, dog. He different. He different.
Absolutely. He is. Absolutely he is. Meb says, should we go in for Ivan Toney in January? Your thoughts? Because we have the post came out.
Fuck yeah. Fuck, y'all didn't watch the 4-0? Come on, brother. Come on, brother. You didn't watch the 4-0? We know what it is with that man. Just because it's my team, I won't make the jokes, but listen. The results are in, and he is the father. So, yeah, man. They say Mr. Toney when all them United players see him pulling up. They say, my fault, Mr. Toney. I didn't mean to step in your way. Yeah, can I get the door for you, Mr. Toney? They acting like valet for this, brother. They got to. So, yeah, bring him to our side, man. I need that.
I'm fully with it. Should we go for Ivan Toney in January? Yes. And yes, I wanted him in the summer. This window just gone.
Yeah.
Premier League proven. Don't have to worry about him adapting. It's not like he's going to like get homesick. I'm saying he's only going from London to Manchester.
Yeah.
What is there not to like? Fits what we're trying to do. Fits the Ten Hag system and the profile. And I think he'd fit in with the players we have. I'm with it. And if he wasn't starting week in, week out, he's not going to kick up a fuss.
Yeah.
And it could be interesting to see how he levels up as well. So yeah, I'm with it. Hopefully, it's all about bolstering our squad in terms of quantity and quality. It's both. Do we need players in? Yes, but we also need quality players in. So that's in regards to Ivan Toney. Yeah, sign him. It's smart business. I don't know why. If you're looking at most teams, I don't know why you're not looking at him.
Yeah.
Maybe bar Manchester City, a Spurs. Or if you're Arsenal, if you're Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool. I throw Liverpool in the mix. If you're Liverpool, if you're Chelsea, if you're Arsenal, if you're Manchester United, why are you not looking at Ivan Toney?
Like why I said, man, dog. That performance he put on, I think it was just like a week ago. He had a hat trick.
Yeah, the hat trick. Yeah.
And everybody want to make excuses for having a hat trick, like it was like, we don't make excuses for hat tricks. Hat tricks are hat tricks. You took the PK, you took the free kick was crazy.
Nuts.
I got to deal with Ronaldo taking headshots at the poor. I felt bad for the Real Sociedad wall because I knew that shit ain't going over that wall. Somebody gonna catch this ball to the face. Pause. So, tell you what, man, I take him yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. Is there any other questions? You don't forget your final few questions in before me and Eddie close out. And in regards to the ManDem United, because European football's on next week, we will move the Thursday episode, and I'm going to talk to Ivorian and move the Tuesday episode as well. So this one you'll probably get probably Friday. We'll probably move this Thursday edition, because normally you get this Thursday 5 p.m. people. But what me and Eddie will do is probably move it to the Friday next week, and then Ivorian I'll talk to, and we might move it later on the Tuesday night. So we're going to definitely sort something out. But keep a lookout on the upcoming live stream schedule, because the shows are going to continue. Even though the Premier League football has stopped, us at Sarcasm City, we are not stopping. So you're still going to get the Champions League watch-alongs, the Europa League watch-alongs, your ManDem Uniteds, your Q&As, fan calling shows, pro clubs, all of that. You're still going to get all of that. And for those that haven't seen the Champions League watch-alongs before, somebody mentioned it in the comments, how they like what we're doing. There'll be one game that's advertised, but the other panelists will be watching different games. As Surfer called us in it, we are the diverse Soccer Saturday. That's what we are. You know what I'm saying? We are Soccer Saturday with pure IC free. And Surfer called himself the reverse Clinton Morrison. So yeah, like just because I advertise a set game, like Bayern Inter, for instance, I'm going to be doing, somebody else will be watching another game, and then someone else will be watching another game. So yeah, don't worry about that, people. We're gonna keep the content rolling. Is Flawless, what did Martial say about Ronaldo? 1 second, I
Oh,
put
he
my
had
comment
praise
now. It's
for him, I
here.
think.
He said, super humble and what a hard worker. We often speak when we're at the
Yeah.
gym in the morning before going to training, and I watched what he was doing. Of course, it makes
Yeah.
sense to learn of someone like Ronaldo, who's meticulous with his approach.
Yeah.
Meticulous with his approach. Absolutely. It's nuts. It's crazy. Yeah, Malcolm, I hit you up about that because we're pretty full in regards to the European watch-alongs and the football and stuff. That's what it is. Like, talk about having a diverse squad. Like, the Sarcasm City squad is cold. I'm saying in that. We got hella quality and Ahmed. You know what I'm saying? So we move people. Like, we gonna keep it stepping. Hey, Ahmed, we're in the comments. Hold that. And big up Surfer saying he's the reverse Chris Kamara. Yeah, big up
That's
Surfer.
hilarious.
You be like, there's been a goal, Jeff. Is there a goal?
I don't know, Jeff.
I don't know. Oh, large up you lot. And yeah, we're going to be running pro clubs in about 10 minutes or so, people. We are going to be running pro clubs here on the YouTube. Pro clubs is back on the YouTube, so I'll be there. Surfer, Murtaza. Who else do you lot know? Ethan from Big Six Bands, Munch from Big Six Bands, Cams from Sarcasm City TV. Trying to think of anyone else. There may be more new. There may be others. There may be more. I'm saying. But yeah, I think that's it, Eddie. I think we've covered everything still. The Martial stuff, your questions. I think we've got to it. Anything else you want to add, man?
I guess what do you think our approach is going to be with the European matches?
Talk about it.
I think, yeah, I think it's important we play first team because we're gonna, especially just for this week though, because like you said, I from what I understand, the service is it's supposed to happen here soon.
I think it's next weekend. I think the funeral.
Yeah,
I think so.
So they're not gonna be having, I don't think they'll be having. If they did it right now, out of respect, they're damn sure not having matches next week as well. So yeah, I think it's just important for us to keep on establishing our identity on the field, and hopefully Martial can get some time. Hopefully he's a bit more healthy. He can get some first team football. And yeah, man, that's it for me on that one, though.
Yeah, man. In regards to it, as much as we're disappointed about football not being on, with the European games now, that takes priority now. So now Ten Hag can play his first team. Yes, we lost to Solskjaer. Is it disappointing? Yes, that's all it is. It's a minor blip in the road. Shout out to the supporter who I was at an event yesterday. Shout out to David Ray, the whole Mic Check gang. And he was talking to me and he was like, yo, I fucks with what you do. I didn't even catch his name. I was waved. I think, I was waved at this point, but shout out to him. And he was saying how under Mourinho, we lost our first group game.
Yeah.
When we won the competition. So, like, just, again, it's disappointing, yes. Well, that's all it is. Draw a line in it and go and beat Sheriff on Thursday. Now, if we don't beat Sheriff on Thursday, that's a major cause for concern. Well, now the first team is there, even though I expect the second string to do it, the first team should beat Sheriff away. I'm sorry. If we don't beat Sheriff, that's like Graham Potter winning the Champions League. We just need to scrap everything.
Big facts.
So it's like, going now, we've lost the first game, go win these other 5 games now, get out of the group, finish top, and then we move on. And I forgot how much of a drag the Europa League is. I really don't like the group stage games. They suck. They suck. I'm telling you. Absolute cheeks. Even when me and Eddie was doing the watch along, it's like I forgot what this is like. There's just no stakes. There's no vim. There's no energy.
Yeah.
Like, we were flat. I bet the crowd was flat, and the performance was flat as well. Like, it's a hard competition to get excited for up until you get to, I would even say the quarters, the semi-final. Even when we won it under Mourinho, I wasn't excited till like the semi-final. That's when it is, because it's like the Europa League, it just takes ages. It's just trash. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they're saying the funeral will take place on the 19th. The 19th, the Monday. So yeah, the funeral's on a Monday, so we'll probably be back after that.
Yeah, probably. One done says, Eddie, what's your NFL team?
I don't have an NFL team, boss. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the players. I think simply put, a lot of the NFL owners are dickheads. So I don't want to, I don't want to give them too much shine and shit like that. But yeah, if you ask me my favorite player in the league right now, it's probably Aaron Donald. They got their asses kicked last night or the night before. Then Lamar, then Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are like my three quarterbacks I enjoy watching. Wide receiver wise, I'll just finish. Wide receiver, I fucking love Stephon Diggs. I think that's my favorite wide receiver in the league. Like, that's a brother who could play that kind of football, our kind of football that we're talking about right now, just because his feet are crazy. So yeah, that's my football breakdown, and I'm super excited. If y'all know in the chat what red zone is, bro, I'm a red zone aficionado. So
What's
that's
red
what I'm
zone?
gonna be. It's like it watches all the games. It's kind of like the Golasso show.
Okay,
It just but like it's like, bro, instead of like a couple hours, like that shit starts at 10. It don't end till like 6 when the last game of the night comes on, and like, yeah, it's a vibe. So yeah, that's my football NFL breakdown.
Yeah, there you go, people. See that, man? All sports over here. Like I say, basketball is going to be back. That'll be on the Twitch. And we've got more.
Yeah.
We've added to the squad. We've bolstered the squad. So we got more Eastern Conference representatives now. So even from the West, we got Eddie, obviously, Lakers plus mine, a couple other Lakers fans. We got Clippers. So we got Lakers, we got Clippers, we got Suns all in the West. And in the East, we've got Raptors, we have Boston, we have the Heat, and we have the 76ers. We got representatives from both, man. We covering both.
Got everything, man.
We just need one more from the West just to kind of like balance it out. You know what I'm saying? But we pretty much done it. We just need a Warriors fan, to be honest. That's what's missing. That is what's missing. We need the obnoxious Golden State Warriors fan. That is all that is missing. But other than that, we can't. We even got Jez. We got OKC fan. We got Jez. He's OKC. Yeah, shout out Jez, man. We out here supporting OKC, Ghana, Germany, Spurs and Dortmund. It's peak, man. Outside of Germany, that's peak.
Forgot the one of the almighty Stuttgart.
Oh yeah, we tried to drop it in the group chat because they drew to Bayern today, and he's like, "Oh, put some respect on my team." It's like,
you put some respect on your team.
Hold that, just hold that. All right, we closing out the show anyway, people. Don't forget, this show and all the other ManDem United podcasts are available on audio-only platforms. So make sure you go and check it out. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Links are underneath in the description. If you're listening right now on one of the audio platforms, appreciate it. Make sure you go follow the SoundCloud, go follow the Spotify, the iTunes, go rank, rate us, share, subscribe, write us a review, all that stuff. Go 5-star us is what I'm saying. 5-star us on iTunes or Apple Podcast and write us a review. But love to everyone that's locked in. Eddie, anything you want to add, my guy?
Nah, I appreciate everybody showing love in the chat. Just keeping it as some real ones that you are, man. Always appreciate when y'all engage with us. Leave a like if you haven't. Make sure y'all come back for pro clubs. I'll be the sideline reporter, seeing what the team morale is looking like. So yeah,
100%. Should be good fun. Bye. Love to everyone that has locked in. And this has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm CTV YouTube. Big up.